Hi, everyone. Welcome to StoryPath English. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 26 years old now, living in New York City. But this story, it starts a long time ago, when I was just a shy 15-year-old girl, living in a small town in Ohio. I wasn't poor. I wasn't lazy. And I definitely wasn't stupid. But I was silent. Every time I tried to speak English in front of people, my voice, it just disappeared. My heart raced. My mind went blank. And I hated myself for it. If you're watching this, maybe you know that feeling. Maybe you feel stuck. Like your English is trapped inside you. The words, they just won't come out. Maybe you've studied grammar, memorized vocabulary, watched every English video on the internet. But speaking? It feels like climbing a mountain. I get it. I've been there. But here's the good news. I found a way out of that prison. And today, I'm going to share every single step, so you can do it too. This isn't just a story. It's a roadmap to fluency. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive in. I was 15, sitting in my high school English class. It was a sunny Tuesday afternoon. Our teacher, Mrs. Thompson, she announced a speaking activity. Everyone, she said, stand up and share one thing about your future dreams. My stomach dropped. I hated speaking in front of people. I could read English, write essays, even get good grades on tests. But speaking? That was my nightmare. When it was my turn, I stood up. My legs felt like jelly. My hands were sweaty. 30 pairs of eyes stared at me. I opened my mouth, and I said, I want to, be a writer. In the city. My voice was shaky. My words were messy. And then I heard it. A soft giggle from the back of the room. It wasn't loud, but it felt like a punch to my chest. My face turned red. My ears burned. I sat down as fast as I could. I stared at my desk, fighting back tears. And in that moment, I made a promise to myself. Asterisk, I will never speak English in front of people again, asterisk. That moment, it broke me. I felt invisible. People thought I was shy, or worse, that I wasn't smart. Even my teachers, they said things like, Emily's quiet, but she's great at writing. My friends, they'd joke, just let Emily write the group project. She doesn't talk anyway. Do you know how that feels? To have ideas, dreams, thoughts, but no way to share them? I wasn't shy. I was scared. Scared of making mistakes. Scared of being judged. Scared of not being good enough. Fast forward. I was 19. I had just started college. In a nearby city. I got a part-time job at a local coffee shop to pay for my books. The job was simple. Take orders. Make coffee. Smile at customers. But there was one problem. Most of the customers, they spoke English fluently, and they expected me to keep up. One day, a tall man in a suit came in. He said, "Hi, can you make it quick? I need a large latte with oat milk, no foam, and an extra shot." I froze. I understood his words, but when I tried to reply, my mouth wouldn't move. I mumbled, yes, latte, okay." He looked annoyed. He said, "Are you new? Can you even understand me?" I went home that night, and I cried. I sat on my bed, staring at the ceiling, and I thought, I can't live like this. I didn't want to feel small. Forever. I didn't want to be the girl who stayed silent, who let fear win. That night, I made a new promise. Not a dark one like before, but a hopeful one. I said to myself, asterisk if I can think in English. I can speak in English asterisk. No more fear. No more hiding. I realized something important. I had been studying English my whole life. Books, flashcards, grammar rules. But I had never lived in English. Studying was one thing. Living was different. Living meant using English in my real life. My thoughts, my words, my world. So I decided to stop studying English and start living in it. I wanted to train my brain to think in English, just like I thought in my native language. No translation, no hesitation, just English. I started small, really small. Every morning, I'd wake up and describe my room in English. I'd look at my bed and say, "This is my bed. It's soft. I sleep here." I'd touch my window and say, "This is a window. It's cold. I see trees outside." I'd hold my toothbrush and say, "This is my toothbrush. I use it to clean my teeth." Was it simple? Yes. Was it powerful? Absolutely. For the first time, I was using English without a teacher, without a test, without pressure. Just me and the words. After a few days, something strange happened. I looked at my coffee mug, and my brain, it didn't think cup in my native language. It thought mug in English. No translation. No delay. Just the word. It felt like magic. But it wasn't magic. It was my brain rewiring itself. I was teaching it to think in English, one tiny sentence at a time. I didn't stop there. I decided to turn my entire life into an English learning lab. Here's what I did, step by step, so you can try it too. Step 1. Morning thinking practice. Every morning, I spent 10 minutes describing everything I saw and felt in English. My pillow. This is soft. I like it. My breakfast. I'm eating toast. It's warm. I put butter on it. My mood. I feel tired, but I'm excited to learn today. No big words. No complex grammar. Just simple sentences. This wasn't about being perfect. It was about building a habit. Step 2. Object talk. Throughout the day, I named every object I touched in English. My phone. This is my phone. It's black. I use it to text. My shoes. These are my shoes. They're old, but I like them. I did this out loud when I was alone and silently in my head. When I was in public, it felt silly at first, but it trained my brain to connect objects to English words instantly. Step 3. Internal dialogues. I started having fake conversations in my head. If I imagined someone asking, "What's your favorite food?" I'd reply in my mind, "I love pizza. It's cheesy and warm." If I imagined a job interview, I'd say, "I'm hardworking. I want to learn and grow." These fake conversations, they prepared me for real ones. I practiced ordering food, asking for directions, even arguing politely, all in my head. Step 4. English everywhere. I changed my environment to English. I set my phone to English. I watched YouTube videos without subtitles. I listened to slow English podcasts. While cooking, I followed English meme pages, and tried to understand the jokes. I stopped consuming content in my native language as much as I could. Did I understand everything? No. But I understood enough to keep going. Every mistake, every new word, every laugh at a meme, it made my brain stronger. One day, I discovered a technique. It's called shadowing, and it became my secret weapon. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker. You pause after each sentence, and you repeat exactly what they say, copying their words, their tone, their emotion. I started doing this for 10 minutes every evening. I picked short clips from movies, interviews, or TED Talks. For example, I watched a clip from The Devil Wears Prada. Meryl Streep, she said, "Details of your incompetence do not interest me." I paused. I repeated it. I tried to sound as confident as she did. Details of your incompetence do not interest me. I said it slowly, then faster, then with attitude. It wasn't just about words. It was about feeling like a speaker. After a week of shadowing, something clicked. I said a full sentence without thinking. "I'm not sure, but I'll try my best." It came out naturally, like it was part of me. I smiled so big, I almost cried. My brain, it was starting to think in English, not just translate. About a month into my new system, I got a message. It was from an online friend. Her name was Sarah. She lived in London. We'd been texting for weeks on a language exchange app, but I always avoided voice calls. I was too scared. But one day, she wrote, "Hey, Emily, want to try a quick voice call this weekend? Just 5 minutes." My heart raced. My old self wanted to say no, but my new self, the one who'd been training every day, whispered, "You're ready. Try it." I replied, "Yes, let's do it." That night, I couldn't sleep. I practiced simple phrases in my head. "Hi, Sarah. Nice to talk to you. I'm from Ohio. I like reading books." I was nervous, but I was ready to try. The call was scheduled for Sunday at 7 p.m. I cleaned my room. I drank water. I put on my favorite sweater to feel confident. At 7:00, my phone buzzed. Incoming call, Sarah, UK. I took a deep breath, and I answered. Hello? Her voice was warm and kind. Hi, Emily. It's so cool to hear you. I froze for a second. But then I said, Hi, Sarah. Nice to talk to you too. The first minute, it was rough. I stumbled. I paused. I said, a lot. But Sarah, she was patient. She asked, What's the weather like there? I replied, It's sunny. I like it. She asked, What do you do for fun? I said, I read books. I like stories. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. We talked for 10 minutes, not 5. And when we hung up, I felt like I'd won a marathon. I didn't just survive the call. I spoke. I made mistakes, but I kept going. And Sarah said, You did great, Emily. Let's talk again soon. That call, it changed everything. It showed me I didn't need to be perfect to be understood. I just needed to be brave. After that call, I wanted more. I didn't just want to practice English. I wanted to perform it. I started recording myself. Every day, I'd open my phone, hit record, and talk about my day. Today is Monday. I went to class. I studied history. I'm tired, but I'm happy. At first, my recordings were awful. My accent was thick. My grammar was messy. My voice sounded weird. But I kept going. I listened to my recordings. I noted my mistakes. And I tried again. The next day, I also joined online English forums. I posted short paragraphs about my life. Today, I walked in the park. The trees were green. The air was fresh. I commented on other people's posts. I sent voice messages to learners from Brazil, Japan, and India. I didn't care about grammar mistakes. I cared about connecting, and people responded. They said, Emily, your English is clear. I understand you. For the first time, I wasn't a silent learner. I was a speaker. 3 months into my journey, I got an email. It made my heart stop. It was from a small publishing company in New York. I had applied for an internship months ago. I had completely forgotten. The email said, "Dear Emily, we'd like to invite you for a video interview this Friday. The interview will be in English. Please confirm your availability." This was it. The biggest test of my life. A job interview in English, on camera, with professionals. The old Emily, she would have said no. But the new Emily, the one who'd been training her brain every day, she said, "I'm ready." I replied, "Yes, I'm available. Thank you for the opportunity." I had 3 days to prepare. Here's what I did. Step 1. Practice out loud. I found common interview questions online. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want this job? What are your strengths? I stood in front of my mirror. I answered each question 10 times. Not before. Start today, even if your voice shakes. Second, think in English. Describe your world in simple sentences. This is my phone. I'm eating rice. I feel happy. Do this every day for 10 minutes. Third, speak to yourself. Talk to your mirror. Record your voice. Say, "Hi, I'm." Your name. "I'm learning." And "I'm proud." It builds confidence. Fourth, shadow native speakers. Pick a short video. Pause after each sentence. Repeat. Copy the words, the tone, the emotion. Do this for 10 minutes. Daily. Fifth, create an English world. Set your phone to English. Watch videos without subtitles. Follow English content online. Surround yourself with the language. Sixth, be brave, not perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to pause. People don't need perfection. They need your effort. Speak badly, but speak. Seventh, find your why. Why do you want to speak English? To travel? To get a job? To connect with people? Hold that reason in your heart. It will keep you going. Conclusion: you are one decision away. English. It's not just a language. It's a key. It opens doors to jobs, friendships, confidence. It's not about being born into English. It's about building it inside you one sentence at a time. You don't need a perfect accent or 10,000 words. You just need courage. If you're watching this, you're already on the path. You're here because you believe you can do this. And you can. You're not too late. You're not too slow. You're not too scared. You're one decision away from changing your life. The decision to start speaking today. So here's my challenge to you. Right now, pause this video. Look around you. Say one sentence in English about something you see. This is my table. I see a tree. Anything. Say it out loud. That's your first step. Do it again tomorrow and the next day. In 6 months, you'll look back and thank yourself. Thank you for watching StoryPath English. If this story inspired you, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more stories to help you grow, learn, and find your voice. Your journey, it starts now. Speak English. Live English. Be English. I believe in you. Recording myself. I didn't memorize scripts. I spoke from my heart, changing my words each time to sound natural. Step 2. Rehearse with an imaginary interviewer. I set up a chair. I pretended someone was asking questions. I answered as if it was real. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a student, and I love writing. I want to work with books because stories inspire me. I practiced until it felt like a conversation, not a performance. Step 3. Prepare filler phrases. I knew I might get stuck, so I learned phrases to buy time. That's a great question. Let me think. Could you repeat that, please? I'd love to share more about that. These phrases, they made me sound calm, even when I was nervous. Step 4. Visualize success. The night before the interview, I visualized the entire call. I imagined myself smiling, answering clearly, feeling confident. I told myself, you are enough. You've trained for this. Then I slept early to stay sharp. Friday morning, 9:45 a.m. I sat at my desk, laptop open, camera ready. My hands were shaking, but my heart was steady. At 10:00 a.m., the Zoom call started. Two women appeared on the screen. They were smiling. "Hi, Emily. Thanks for joining us. Tell us about yourself." I took a deep breath, and I said, "Hi. Thank you for having me. My name is Emily Carter. I'm a college student from Ohio. I love writing and reading, and I'm passionate about stories. I've been working hard to improve my English, and I'm excited to learn from your team. It wasn't perfect, but it was clear." They nodded. They asked more questions. "Why do you want this internship? What's your biggest weakness? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" I answered each one slowly, using my filler phrases when I needed time. "That's a great question. Let me think. I want this internship because I believe stories can change lives, and I want to be part of that." For my weakness, I said, "Sometimes I'm too hard on myself, but I'm learning to focus on progress, not perfection." They smiled. I smiled. It felt like a real conversation. The interview, it lasted 25 minutes. When it ended, I thanked them. I closed my laptop. I was sweaty. My heart was racing, but I felt alive. I had just done something I thought was impossible. I didn't memorize answers. I lived them. The next morning, I woke up to an email. Subject: "Congratulations, Emily." My hands shook as I opened it. "We are thrilled to offer you the internship. Your passion and clear communication impressed us. Welcome to the team." I cried. Not because I got the internship, but because I had proven something to myself. I wasn't the silent girl anymore. I was a speaker. I was living in English, and it felt like freedom. That internship, it changed my life. I moved to New York. I worked with authors. I spoke English every day. I joined meetings. I wrote emails. I even gave presentations. The old Emily, she would have hidden. The new Emily, she spoke up. I made friends from all over the world. Australia, Mexico, South Africa, all in English. I didn't just learn a language. I found my voice. Here's what changed. First, my career. I now work as a junior editor, reading and editing stories in English. I speak with authors. I pitch ideas. I lead projects. All because I dared to speak. Second, my confidence. I used to avoid eye contact when speaking English. Now, I look people in the eye. I used to stay silent in groups. Now, I lead conversations. Third, my identity. I don't say I'm learning English. I say I'm an English speaker. It's not about being perfect. It's about owning my progress. Fourth, my freedom. English gave me the freedom to express myself, to connect with people, to chase my dreams without fear. I'm not special. I'm not smarter than you. I'm just someone who refused to stay silent. If I can do it, so can you. Here's my system for you to follow. First, stop waiting to feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Confidence comes after you speak.